So, since last Sunday, we have started discussing about a compilation of Swami Vivekananda's teachings on personality development. There is a booklet called Personality Development. So, this book we are trying to discuss chapter by chapter. So, in the first introductory chapter, last time we saw that what are the aspects of personality. What is exactly personality? We saw its dictionary meaning and we saw its Eastern and Western aspects also. We read about the necessity to know our mind. Why we should know about our mind. We saw the fourfold functions of the mind. That also will be uploaded on this channel. So those who have missed the last discussion, they can refer to that particular video and they can also get in touch with those ideas. We also discussed about the parts of the mind. That is memory, that is called chitta. Then next is deliberation and conceptualization. That is the part of mind. Then determination and decision making. That is done by buddhi and intellect. And the fourth one is I consciousness. Manas, buddhi, chitta and ahankara that we saw. Then what we saw is the chariot example. That our antahkarana or our whole being can be compared with the chariot. What is that chariot? That the horses are the senses and the chariot here is the intellect and the master of the chariot is the soul. And this kind of allegory, this kind of example is quoted in the Upanishads. So through that example, we also saw how the different functions of our mind and our body, our senses, and the objects of the senses, how this bifurcation has been done in our scriptures. Then we saw about character. What is character? How it is developed. So we saw that when certain tendency is developed in the mind, when certain repeated action is done through our mind and body, then that action becomes a habit. And then that habit changes into samskaras and our deep-rooted impressions on our mind. And they form our core personality. What kind of impressions that we are carrying in our life that show our character. So all these things we discussed last time. And we also discussed what is the central message of Swami Vivekananda. That is the divinity of man. That each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. This also we discussed. Now we shall see the next section, that is strengthening of willpower, the essence of personality development. The divine core of our personality is covered, as it were, by 5 dimensions. First is physical dimension, consisting of our body and senses. Second is energy dimension, which performs digestion of food, circulation of blood, respiration, and other activities in the body. So what is we call pranas, pranic body or pranamaya kosha. So first is physical dimension, that is annamaya kosha, that which is made of food. So what food you take, that only the matter, that is a matter. So your body is made of matter. So whatever you consume, The whole body, the whole structure is made out of that consumption of food. Then comes pranas. Just now we discussed that we are doing respiration. Actually, what we take, not just air, but the electric charge also. So the whole cosmic prana, so to say, a cosmic charge, electrified atmosphere, is charging our body also. So just like a mobile phone, what you do when the mobile phone's charge is over, you put it into a electric source of power. So exactly like that, we are constantly charging this body, and then that there is no battery that we will just do respiration and then whole day we will work on that. That cannot be done. So constantly we have to charge it. Constantly we have to inhale and exhale, so that the function of this pranic body, the pranic functions will happen. What are those pranic functions? The digestion of food, that is a function of prana. Circulation of blood is a function of prana. Respiration is a function of prana. Prana is what? Energy. So energy is working to digest the food. Energy is working to circulate the blood. What is that energy? So your heart is being pumped. Your digestive enzymes are being secreted. So all this continuously, there are some things happening inside our body that reflect that you are living in this body. The moment you stop respirating, the moment you stop digesting food, the moment your blood circulation stops, you are said to be no more living in that body. So this is the reflection of our life in the body. Then the respiration. So what it does, there are different aspects of this pranic body. What is pancha prana? Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. These are the 5 types of pranas, 5 types of energies that are working in our main 5 broad ways of working. What are these? Prana means what we are doing, respiration. That is prana. Then apana. Then what you do is whatever your actions of your body through which you exhale, or you do some certain actions, that say sneezing for example, or there are some functions, yawning, or there are some functions that vomiting. How those functions are happening? Because a certain type of prana helps those functions in the body, and that unless that prana is activated, those functions won't happen. Vyana. What is this vyana? Vyana is the prana, the part of prana, the part of energy that is present everywhere in the body. Prana, apana, vyana. Udana. Udana is the function that does the sneezing or vomiting. Apana is doing the work of excretion. So whatever you are excreting from your body, that is done by apana. And then samana, what it does, it is doing the balancing work. So prana, apana, both, so many forces are there in our body. So samana works to balance those forces. So all these things are considered in the energy dimension, energy body, that pranamaya portion. Then comes mental dimension, characterized by the activities of the mind, like thinking, feeling, and emotions, etc. So there is one manomaya portion. So this is what we are seeing is nothing but Vedanta. What Panchakosha. So all these things scriptures are telling, which Swami Vivekananda also has taught, that we are discussing here under this personality development class. So then comes intellectual dimension, that is Vijnanamaya portion, characterized by the determinative faculty in a person. This is also the seat of discrimination and willpower. So there it comes that you discriminate. No, I will do this, I will not do that. This is good for me, this is not good for me. I must achieve this, I must not achieve this. All these things, all this from decisions, from will of man, you see, that this must happen, this must be done. So this will, unless this will is there, the things won't happen, is it not? We say that if everything is kept ready, but there is no will to do something, then you will not do that particular thing. So the food is ready, the full plate of food is ready, put before you, but you are not willing to eat. So that is of no use. Then what is that? Anandamaya portion, blissful dimension, experienced as bliss during deep sleep. So that deep sleep is something which is the nearest state to our real nature. But it is in tamas. It is covered by tamoguna. That's why we cannot see our soul. But it is the nearest state that is called in the scriptures that we go nearest to our soul without knowing that. That is why we feel very much ecstatic. We feel very much pleased, very much relaxed after coming back from the deep sleep, as if we have really touched something in the deep sleep that has refurbished. It has a kind of revitalized our whole being when we get up from deep sleep. Say, suppose you went to sleep at 10 o'clock and you got up at 4 o'clock in the morning and you felt like 4 o'clock, you went to sleep just 5 minutes back. When it happens, when you slept very deep, you had a very deep sleep, and you get up as if, just now I had slept and this is 6 hours spent. So you could not just imagine that 6 hours have been gone and I was sleeping all throughout. So that sleep revitalizes you. It rejuvenates you. That is called blissful dimension. That is Anandamaya portion. Beyond all these Panchakoshas, 5 dimensions, is our soul, the immortal soul. That is our true nature. That is what Swami is telling. Each soul is potentially divine. So the potential divinity is there already. Only thing is that is not exhibited because of these Panchakoshas. What is prohibiting that potential divinity from becoming kinetic, so to speak, in our engineering language? That potential energy to convert it into kinetic energy. What is preventing it from happening? Our ignorance, our sanskaras, our habits, our vasanas, our character is prohibited. If we have a suitable character that will purify these panchakoshas, that will allow these panchakoshas to manifest the soul which is beyond that, which is behind them, then what happens? Then we will be able to put that potential divinity into kinetic divinity, so to speak. Now let us continue. Each succeeding dimension is subtler than the preceding one and pervades it. So every of these dimensions, this Annamaya Kosha is the grossest one. Then comes Pranamaya Kosha. Naturally, it is the subtler one. You see, you cannot actually grasp Pranamaya Kosha as much as you can grasp your physical body. So the respiration, the electric charge inside your body, the circulation of blood, you cannot, those are subtle things. And they are controlling your grosser things, your physical gross body. The parameters that they check during your blood test or your blood pressure checking or your other parameters, what they are checking, they are not checking your physical body actually. They are checking the inside happenings of your body, and then they are giving you the diagnosis that you have such and such problem in your body. So that is the thing. Subtler thing is controlling the grosser thing. What is more subtler than pranamaya kosha? Mind. Because mind is disturbed, then your BP is also disturbed. Your heart is pumping blood. You are restless. You are in tension. Then the mental dimension affects your pranamaya dimension. Your respiration becomes irregular if you are angry, if you are upset, if you are depressed. Your irregular breathing, because your prana also disturbed. Because mind is controlling your pranas. Then who is controlling the mind? Still more subtler. Intellect, the discriminative faculty, the willpower. So that intellect is controlling the mind. Why? Mind wants to go here and there. Now you are sitting in the class. So mind wants to go around. It doesn't want to listen to these ideas. It wants to go and be happy around the campus, meet with friends, gossip with them. But the intellect says no. It is good for you to sit in the class. It will help for you to be here regularly, to attain to this satsanga of Swami Vivekananda's ideas. What will help you? This intellect says no. Sit here and concentrate. Then what happens? This is subtler dimension controls this relatively grosser dimension. That is called mind. So mind is also gross. We'll see all these details of it. This whole discussion, this book is going to nicely detailing about all the aspects of our personality. Then comes the final blissful dimension. That is Anandamaya Kosha. The subtlest, though it is a kosha, it is not the soul. It is not the reality, ultimate reality. But it is nearest to that ultimate reality. That's why that bliss of that ultimate reality, bliss of that soul, is reflected in the Anandamaya Kosha, in the deep sleep. And that is why subtlest dimension that is. So this that is called blissful dimension. Then we will continue. Personality development implies progressive identification with higher dimensions of personality. Thus, a person identified only with the physical dimension without exercising his higher mental faculties lives not far different from animals, whose pleasure and pain are restricted to the sensory system. So, what is personality development? Beautifully, it is in a very simple way. This paragraph says, what is personality development? What is that personality development? Is your identification with higher and higher dimension of your personality. That now my personality is not developed. Means what? My whole joys and sorrows are in the body. My whole pleasures and pains are attached to the physical body, the grossest form of my personality. What is that? Physical dimension. So if anything happens to this physical dimension, I'm miserable. If anything happens to this physical body, even slightest pain, even slightest pleasure, I go hysteric. If a certain physical pleasure I get to experience, I become hysteric. I become completely devastated if a slightest physical pain happens to me. I become devastated. Why? Because my personality, entire personality, is confined in my grossest form of existence. That is physical dimension. That is physical body. But if I am a little more evolved in personality, what is the meaning of that? If I'm a little more developed in personality, means what? My identification with body is less, but my identification with the mind is more. I have a little more evolution. So what? I'm a little more sensitive, and I have little more artistic abilities. I have little more developed feelings, little more developed emotions, little more developed sense of expressions, little more sympathy, empathy, understanding, compassion, because my mind understand the feelings of other mind. Because of my identification largely with my mind, I understand other people's sentiments also. I understand other people's emotions also, and I respect them. So, but if somebody disrespects my emotions, I feel miserable. I feel devastated. I'm completely depressed. And if somebody praises me, somebody praises my work, somebody kind of pampers me, then I'm completely overjoyed. Somebody scolds me for my faults, I'm completely depressed. So, because my emotions, I'm identified more with my mind, my emotions are playing more heavily on my personality. Then that physical little discomfort, I'm not minding that time. I may not mind somebody patting my back or somebody just giving some physical pleasure is not my destiny. I'm more involved in mental pleasures and mental sufferings. So that person, you will see a person who is so much emotional in his nature. He many times he doesn't care what food he eats. His mind is not in the quality of food or the type of food he is able to eat in the mess. So suppose in your hostel mess, you are not liking the food, but such a person is not very much well concerned with the food because he's thinking about somebody scolding at that time. He's suffering because somebody has scolded him. He's overjoyed because somebody has praised his work. Now, what his whole existence is in the mind. He doesn't care much about physical pleasures or physical play. Now, a person of more physical personality developed, what is it? He is more evolved if his identification is in intellectual plane. Now, he is not bothering much about emotions. Somebody said something, somebody praised or blamed. He is not much because he is able to see from a higher dimension, that is intellectual dimension, that is what is this said here? Intellectual dimension, that is Vijnanamaya portion. So then he will be able to see things, he will be able to discriminate. Okay, then he will be able to see the pros and cons of both the things and have a more balanced attitude towards different emotions, toward positive and negative happenings of life and emotions of life. And he will be more a balanced person because his intellect is the central point of his existence, his personality. Now he's evolved more. So then what is this? He's blissful. He's not blissful, he's controlled. So in both the positive, negative, failure and success, the hype in emotion or the low in emotion, both will be a kind of they will have a controlling point, a balancing point in intellect. So that person's personality is called more evolved. And finally, the person who is identified with his Anandamaya portion. So the one person who is not even identified with his intellect, then what happens? Then such a person is really very much nearer to his soul, because then he is not even caught up in opinions. He's not even caught up in philosophies. He's not even caught up in different reasonings, different logics. He has gone beyond the logic. He has gone beyond the reason. He has gone beyond the intellectual cogitations also. So he has got a more stable point. He has achieved a more stable point in his existence. That is, that he is able to see all the intellectual viewpoints, all the logical reasonings. He is able to see and fathom their depths, and he is able to kind of judge them or kind of weigh them in a proper context. So such a person who is identified with his Anandamaya. So though he is not a realized soul, he has not realized his true self, but he is nearest to his true self, in a sense that he is identified only with his primordial ignorance. That is just that whatever is the layer that is covering his soul, that is the only thing that is prohibiting him from seeing directly his soul. So he is just a kind of he's an egoless person, because their ego also doesn't work much on that Anandamaya portion. He is egoless person. Just having a separation, of course. Not that egoless means there is no absolutely no ego. No, that not like that. His ego is very much imperceptible. His ego is just for the sake of it. Like that, he is existing. So we'll go into these details. I'm just trying to give you some kind of a trailer. I'm trying to show you, and then want to make you intrigued more and more into this subject. Why we are discussing it in this introductory portion so much is that I want to give you some glimpse of what details of this discussion we are going into. So it is going to be very interesting, and I would like you all to really get interested, get hooked to this topic, and get benefited from this. As much as you all should be interested, I myself am feeling interested into it. Development involves struggle with one's lower mind characterized by desires, old habits, wrong tendencies, impulses, and bad impressions. So this naturally, when a certain person has to evolve, has to go above his physical dimension, which is the lowest, which is the grossest, naturally he will have to struggle with his physical desires, with his physical tendencies, and he has to come above. Say suppose an artist, or suppose a painter, or suppose a musician, he naturally has to struggle to overcome his physical desires or physical limitations of it. Then only he can continuously practice his music or continuously practice his art or different kind of uh, mm, uh, uh, such kind of faculties he can express. So only when you conquer this struggle of lower nature and come overcome it and reach the higher nature, then only you will be able to evolve into your personality. The lesser we identify with the lower mind, the more we identify with the higher mind, and exercise our buddhi, discrimination. the more developed will our personality be. Natural. This involves struggle to grapple with one's mind and its old habits, to cultivate new and wholesome ones. So we cannot have a compromising attitude. We cannot say, no, whatever my habits are, they are great. I'm doing well. All is well. Whatever is going, all is well. We are taught to say like this. We are generally taught to say, no, whatever you keep saying, all is well. But is it really well? No. It is just a covering up of the things. So whatever our defects are, whatever our weaknesses are, we are just saying all is well. That means what? We are just covering them up under the carpet. But that won't do. We have to expose them for ourselves, to ourselves. We have to acknowledge them and to overcome them one by one with methodically. There is a method. But this struggle is the greatest of all struggles in that it makes us civilized in the real sense of the term by manifesting our divinity and thereby our hidden perfection. So we become civilized by undergoing this struggle, by continuously conquering this lower mind by a higher mind, we become civilized. And last time we discussed that Swamiji's definition of civilization. What is that civilization? The manifestation of divinity. The person who is civilized, more civilized, means what? He has manifested his divinity. More. Now next we will go. Some essential qualities for personality development. First is what? Faith in oneself. Swamiji held faith in one's potential divinity as the sheet anchor of personality development. Faith in God came next only to faith in oneself. If one believes that one's real nature is the spirit, not the body or the mind, one would be a better individual with strong character. So, if this faith comes in oneself that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am this real spirit, immortal spirit, then what happens? Then those qualities will come out. That strong character will come out, which relates to that soul, the immortal soul, the powerful soul. If your identification is with the body and mind only, then what will happen? You are all the time caught up with this mesh of body-mind complex. Then your whole problems are related with only body-mind complex. But if you're all the time you have faith, no, I am the soul, and infinite, immortal soul, then this body-mind may have its own problems, its own limitations, but your soul will conquer them. Your soul will overpower them. Then next, think positive thoughts. Swamiji decreed in no uncertain terms weakness in human beings. He did not like it. Positive, wholesome thoughts based on our inherent divinity are essential for a strong character. Go on doing good, thinking holy thoughts continuously. That is the only way to suppress base impressions. Character is repeated habits, and repeated habits alone can reform character, Swami says. Further, according to Swamiji, the only sin is to think of oneself and others as weak. So what is sin is when you think somebody else as weak, apart from yourself also thinking as weak and others also weak, means what? That is the same. Why? Because everyone is spirit, everyone is divinity. And when you call that divinity as a weaker, as material, as gross, as lower, then what happens? That is what is sin. Because you are denying them their divinity, that you are denying them their birthright. So that is what is sin. Attitude towards failures and mistakes. What should be the attitude? Swamiji advocates upholding the ideal once again, even if a person failed 1,000 times. He appreciated committing mistakes and learning from them rather than leading an inert existence like a wall, which cannot even tell a lie. So, how we should deal with our failures and mistakes? What should be our attitude to look at it? That, in a way, here it is suggested that be glad that you did a mistake. That is what somebody is telling. At least be glad that you are not a wall. At least be glad that you are not a cow. Somebody says the cow cannot tell a lie, but she remains a cow all throughout. But at least you are a human being. You are able, you have the power to tell a lie. Be happy with that. Be glad, bless God, somebody says. That you have that ability to do something wrong, to do some mistake. That is the greatest of the powers that humanity has got. that to choose between good and bad, to do what I should do. You have the ability. The cow has no ability to choose between telling a lie and telling the truth. Wall has no ability to choose between this, but you have been given the ability. So it means that you are superior. So be glad that you are superior in that sense to the wall and to the cow. But what is the now we have to do? We should not stop at that. You should not just go on celebrating that yes, I am able to do a mistake. I am able to tell a lie. So let me celebrate it. And there ends it. No, you should go further. Go forward. What is that? Just just don't try to repeat that mistake. Now you did a mistake. No, okay, be happy that I had the ability to do a mistake. But now, henceforth, I don't want to do it. Henceforth, I will check that mistake. So how will you check yourself from committing that wrong or mistake? There is a procedure that we will discuss. Then next point is self-reliance. Man is the maker of his own destiny, said Swamiji. We are responsible for what we are and whatever we wish ourselves to be. We have the power to make ourselves. So this self-reliance should come. Otherwise, what? Continuously trying to depend on somebody, hanging on somebody else. You see, always for everything, we have to depend. We have to hang on somebody else. And then what happens? Then that person disappoints us. Then that situation disappoints us. Then that particular place disappoints us. Then we are miserable because we are always relying on different people for various things, and they are sure to disappoint you. Then what happens? You are miserable. So if you are self-reliant, if you believe, no, I can do everything, why should I depend on somebody? If somebody is not helping me, if somebody is not contributing to what I want to do, I want to achieve, then let me not depend on them. I will do everything. I am the soul, infinite, immortal. This faith, you see, this faith brings this self-reliance. No, let me do everything, whatever possible. I don't want to depend on anybody. Then comes renunciation and service. Swamiji held selfless service as a paramount means to character development. This is selfless service. But how to develop your character? This is the means. To do this selfless service, you don't have absolutely any desire out of that service, absolutely any want. You don't want to get some merit out of it. You just want to serve out of your desire to serve. So the service itself gives you great joy. That is the only thing that you want. Just you want to achieve that joy of service, selfless service. This, coupled with renunciation of selfishness and desire for the fruits of action, was considered by Swamiji as the twin ideal of our nation. Intensify her in those channels, said he, and the rest will take care of itself. Intensify who? Intensify our country. Because our country has these twin ideals. From ancient times, India has these twin ideals, renunciation and service. So if we intensify our whole country, then what will happen? Then the rest will take care of itself. Means what? Rest means what? All the things will come by itself. If we become firm on these two things, two ideals, that we renounce and we serve, then what? The whole thing, all the things will come into place and we will achieve success. We'll see what is renunciation. In this booklet, we are going to discuss all these details. Now, we are concluding this introductory chapter. This booklet is a humble attempt to present Swamiji's ideas on personality development, spread over the 9 volumes of his complete works. We hope that a perusal of this booklet inspires our youth to make a deep study of Swamiji and his works, and awakens in them a desire to mold their character and develop their personality. A noble character and developed personality will ensure excellence in one's chosen field and contribute to individual and national development, says Swamiji. Teach yourselves, teach everyone his real nature. Call upon the sleeping soul and see how it awakes. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, purity will come, and everything that is excellent will come when the sleeping soul is roused to self-conscious activity. So, this is what Swamiji is telling about how to go about this personality development. This is the introductory portion. If we really learn it, if the thoughts we in this small booklet, in nutshell, if we really go into deep about these thoughts, then what happens? Then Swamiji is assuring us that power will come. You will become powerful in a real sense of the term. You will become glorious in a real sense of the term. It will, the goodness will come, purity will come, and everything that is excellent will come. When what will happen? When your sleeping soul, with your sleeping personality, will be roused to its self-conscious activity. So now your personality is sleeping; it is dormant. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you are supposed to do in this life. Why you are born? What you are supposed to pursue in this life? Why you have come to IIT? What you are expected to do out of this IIT course? Whether you should go for a job, or whether you should start a business, or whether you should serve the society, or whether you should serve your family, or whether you should do something else. You are confused. You see, at this age, you are so much grown up, but still you are still wondering what you should do with your life. You see, your life is going so fast. It is progressing so fast. Your age is progressing so fast, but you are still short of this decision. You have not made a decision yet what to do with your life, and that is why this booklet helps us. That is what this discussion helps us. That's why we are inviting all of these students in IIT to come and discuss, to brainstorm about what to do with their life. And it is these ideas of Swami Vivekananda are most positive, inspiring, and they are going to really help us in achieving our goals within IIT and even after passing from IIT. So before proceeding further, I would like to invite if any questions are there from your side.
When it is mentioned that self-conscious activity, what does it mean, this two terms, self-conscious?
So at present, whatever activity we are doing, as we discussed in this introductory chapter, is that those activities are governed by our identification with the physical dimension, largely. Because whenever I say, I am so and so, I am Amu, I am Tamu, then what? I am not identifying when I am saying I am so and so with my mind or with my intellect. I am identifying with this body. The name is given to this body, is it not? That is why we celebrate the birthday of this body. Do you ever think of celebrating the birthday of your mind? Have you ever thought about it? Why should only body be given this much importance when it is the lowest thing? When the mind is more important, it is controlling the body, is it not? When you say that my mind wants to go to VSC class, your body just obeyed it and came here. But you are celebrating the birthday of your body, but you never celebrated the birthday of your mind. You never celebrated the birthday of your intellect. You never thought of it, in fact. The very thought never came. Why this thought never came? Because you never thought yourself to be the mind. You never thought yourself to be the intellect. You never thought yourself to be something beyond this body. So, what is happening? At this moment, you are not even conscious of yourself. You are conscious of your only body. You are thinking your body as yourself. But here, self-conscious activity means what? When you will understand, no, there is much more to myself than this body. In fact, this body is nothing but it is just like a nail as compared to, Swami says in Raja Yoga, that this body to my soul is as compared, you compare it with my nails to my body. So you can understand now, if suppose your real nature or your personality is this body, and your nail will be called your physical dimension. Then, if you say this is the soul completely, then your nail is in your body actually. But you are so much caught up in your nail only. So you are celebrating the growing of your nails and condoling the cutting of your nails. When you cut your nails, you are condoling that you are kind of keeping 13 days of kind of this thing. No, you keep 13 days of mourning. You say so. Just cutting the nail of this soul means dying death of this body. Birth of this body means what? Just the growth of one nail on your body. So this is our consciousness has caught up in the nail. So people are so much caught up in their nails, they polish their nails. They will cut their nails in such a form that they will want to pose in front of people that my nails are the best. They are so beautiful, they are so attractive, and they will always keep on scratching their nails, keep on biting their nails. So their whole environment, their whole life is caught up in their nails. But the moment, suppose they overcome this habit of becoming so much, making so much fuss about their nails, and they forget about this so much about nails, and they get involved in some intellectual activity. They go to library and whole day they are reading some book. Huh? Then what happens? That is the self-conscious activity. Then the nails are forgotten completely. Then you become knowledgeable so much about so many things about life and world. Then what happens? That becomes self-conscious activity. Why? Because you are now really becoming nearer and nearer to yourself. You are overcoming this lower existence and becoming more and more identified with your higher and higher existence. Self-conscious you are becoming. So far, you are not self-conscious. So now you start celebrating your birthday of your inner being also. So that is what is self-conscious activity. Then your glory will come. Why? Because now you are no more that same weak, so helpless physical existence. You are beyond the body. So beyond your birth and death. You are beyond weakness and miseries and calamities and distress of this world and this life. So this is what is self-conscious activity. Always you are working from that dimension. People may not understand you. Those who are working all the time in through body, they are existing in body only. They may not understand you. Just like people did not understand Swami Vivekananda properly. So the same thing may happen with you. But that doesn't matter with you because you are actually living the true life. They alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. So those who live in body, they are dead actually. More dead than alive. Why? They are living in their own body all the time. But those who live for others, they have transcended this body of their own body, thinking about their own body. Then they have become more self-conscious. Why? Because self pervades everything. Self pervades everybody. So when they are thinking about others, then they are serving others. When they are living for others, then they are living in the self. Then their own problems they are forgotten. Their own difficulties are forgotten. Their own failures are forgotten. Their own losses are forgotten. And they don't celebrate their achievement also. For them, only achievement is to make others happy. So, labha labho, jaya jayo. That Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita. That the person who is a samatvam yoga uchate, that person achieves samatva when he transcends this body consciousness and achieves, lives in the soul, consciousness of the soul, works from that dimension. So we will discuss this in detail in this personality development discussion. Any other? Above intellectual dimension is Anandamaya Kosha. That is Vijnanamaya Kosha, intellectual dimension. Then it comes Anandamaya Kosha. That is that which is behind the intellect, that which is just in between the dimension that is in between the soul and in the intellect. That is the Anandamaya Kosha. So this Anandamaya Kosha is the kosha that we discussed. This is the blissful dimension they call it. Why? It reflects the bliss of Brahman, the bliss of Atman, and it is nearest kosha, nearest covering over the soul. That's why it is blissful. That's why it has a control over even intellect, which is lower dimension. I'm not able to hear. Just louder. Little louder.
The body you are referring to is the inside what is happening to the hormones, what are
Yes. Everything that pertains to the body, the physical, your hands, your legs, your inside organs. This is called physical body. Your eyes, your ears, all this physical form, this matter that forms your body.
the mind itself is the mind is controlling hormones.
Mind is inside.
The mind is deciding the hormonal balance everywhere.
No, mind is working out its function through this whole thing. All your whatever secretions of your enzymes, secretions of your hormones, secretion of your body functionality, whatever vitamins are generated in your body, everything is being controlled by your inner koshas, your subtler dimensions. They are controlling all these things. So when you will see that, suppose somebody becomes angry, then what happens? His eyes become red. His very skin becomes becomes red. You know that his whole face goes red. That person who is very angry. The person who is very calm and quiet, his face becomes very pleasant and very calm. So all these emotions that are in the mind, they are exhibiting in the body. A person who is very jealous, a person who is having this different kind of hatred. So you will see in their body that hatred, that jealousy, a lustful person. You will see the lust in that person's face. So this kind of different emotions are guiding actually the body. So then they are controlling see, when you are having some kind of more emotion, then what happens? Your acid secretion in your stomach also gets affected. A person who is having some particular emotions, he may be generating more acid in his stomach, because those kinds of emotion will instigate the acid secretion, and then that person becomes more acidic. Acidity will increase in a particular. Of course, there are different issues to it, different dimensions. Like some physical situation also may affect it, but there are inner dimension also that are controlled. So these are the different dimensions.
All these pranas different from soul.
Prana is very much different from soul. Prana is just this energy that is running your body. In individual self, in individual soul, it is rather an entity, a person. Prana is nothing but the energy that is residing in your body, functioning in your body. And in outside of your personality, it is the thing that runs this world in a larger sense, in a collective sense.
Soul is controlling your
Who is controlling?
intellectual.
Who is controlling?
Soul.
Soul. See, soul is the very foundation, the very basis of all the existence. Soul is the thing that is making all your koshas function. All your koshas exist. Without the soul, they have no existence. Without the charioteer, without the person, but the master of the chariot, there is no meaning to the chariot, to the charioteer, to the horses, to the other things, other parts, to the wheels. Nothing. No, there is no meaning to all these instruments. The meaning comes only when there is a master. If there is no passenger riding the cab, there is no meaning to the cab driver and everything. So that is the thing. That is the difference between the soul and all these panchakoshas. That soul you are, in essence. You are not this panchakosha. That is what the scriptures and Swamiji is telling. That our real nature is not this kosha. They are just koshas. Is your if you are riding a cab, do you say I am the cab? Do you say this whole cab is me and I am going to have the ambition to take this cab somewhere? No. The cab is just an instrument to carry you from one place to another. You are not the cab. You leave the cab after this thing is over. You reach the destination. So soul is just taking the help of these five koshas because soul wants to meet some ends. So that's why it has this thing. But in meeting those ends and getting the help of these instruments, it has forgotten. that it is the soul. It has identified itself with the body and mind, and it has forgotten. That's what we are trying to get back, that memory. We are trying to get back that knowledge of our true personality.
What does the soul want? What does the soul want?
So we'll discuss all these things in detail, step by step. If we go haphazardly, then we may not understand the concepts proper. So let us go step by step. That is why we have this. We are taking this book, is it not? That is why this book has a step by step chapters. It methodically discusses all these things, and it will be better for us if we go in a step by step methodical way. Otherwise, it will actually create confusion. It will actually create more questions than answers. So I will recommend that you attend and you study this book step by step. You attend our discussions and clarify step by step, one by one concept. That will be better, rather than jumping suddenly. So if you are attending a physics class, suppose in IIT, do you tell them after coming to the first class that you don't tell me all these things? Tell me finally what happens. So then what they will tell? Arey, that is a final year thing. You are in a first year now. So you have to study the first year, then come to second year, then come to third year, then come to final year. If you start, no, I don't want to. Directly you tell me finally what becomes out of it. What is this mechanical engineering? You finally tell me why you are going round and round about telling me what is strength of materials, what is the different forces, different energies, different technologies, different devices. Why I should go on learning all these things, laws of physics and all? You tell me finally what is mechanical engineering and give me the certificate. We cannot. Even in physical science, it is not impossible. So you imagine how much it is difficult and impossible about the subtler and spiritual science. So I will recommend you go slowly, you go step by step. First, you try to understand the physical dimension, then try to understand the energy dimension, then try to understand the mental dimension, then intellectual dimension, then blissful dimension, and then come to the soul. That is what the Taittiriya Upanishad and other Upanishads also, they are going step by step. They're teaching you how to first overcome your physical dimension. Let us begin from the beginning. So suddenly, if you want to the final pill that will give you the knowledge of the self, that will be harmful for you if you get that pill. So let us go step by step. You wanted to ask something? Oh. That is why my intention was, see, why my intention was to take up this book is because by through this book we will have a systematic study. Rather than taking some random topics every time in VSC, I can take some random topics that may interest you. But then we will be going round and round in the same basic concepts only, we will come back to them. So every class I found that whenever I am talking some topic, then again the questions are coming about the basic concepts of this personality, basic concepts of our self, and Swamiji's ideas about Vedanta. So then I thought, why not take a systematic, step-by-step, methodical study, which is given in this book, and this is a very great opportunity for us to have a clear cut when we complete this course, this book. We will have wonderful, very clear cut conception about all the Vedantic ideas about the self, about this world, about mind, about how to work out this mind. So we will have all the clarification in our mind by the end of this whole course. That is what my intention was. Though probably many students may not feel interested because they feel that, okay, if I have to engage myself in a kind of a continuous series of discussions, then it is kind of a commitment that I will be needed to do. But that commitment is helping you. It will not harm you. If you come randomly to any class, some class you come and then after 1 month you come to another class, then you are coming like a casual visitor, and that is not helping you actually. Casual discussions won't help you. If you feel a commitment, yes, let me be committed to this book. Let me go through it entirely, and let me have deep discussions with Swamiji. with Swami Vivekananda, with this. I will interrogate him. I will interview him. I will want to take out all whatever knowledge he has gained. That should be your spirit. Let me thoroughly interview and interrogate and cross question my spiritual mentor. And whatever he knows, I will take it out during this course systematically. That will be real achievement. And then if this basic course itself, if you do, then you will not have any problem in understanding other philosophies, then your intellect, your mind, everything, concepts are clear. So you will be able to understand everything in its proper context. When the base is clear, then you can go in a more different, advanced other. We can, after covering this, we can go for some wonderful courses also. We can conduct. Some other scriptures also we can take, which are more deeper. That will help me also, and that will help you also. So I want you to bring more and more participants who will be more committed to thoroughly understand something. In a longer term, there it will help them. It is not for a quick this thing that you took coffee and felt refreshed. It's not like that. You will have to undergo a systematic study and completely calmly in a very objective way, not having any bias, not having any prejudice, not having any your own liking, disliking, but complete open mind. If you address this, you will be benefited. So, okay. Anything that you want to ask? When we are alone on this planet, then there is no question about there is no absolutely no question. Then there is this question itself doesn't arise. The very question has arisen because of so many billions of people are there. When you are the only person, then you are free. You are liberated. That is what is liberation. There is no else to share. There is no else to question. Nobody else to question you. Then this problem will. If you can ask this question, if you and me are only there on this earth, then this problem will come. But when I am also not there, then why should you ask this question?
Everything we do for our circumstances. Like, without any circumstances, what should we do for? What should we work for us?
See, when there is nothing for you, as you told, you are alone, then this question itself doesn't arise.
And then what should we do?
So first you have to clear, if you have to really sincerely pursue this question, you have to first eradicate all the other people from the planet. Then only you can really come out with this question. Otherwise it's invalid. Na? See, that thing you are asking something which is invalid. Is it not? What do you say? Is it not invalid? See, you are asking me that if I am alone on the planet, what should be the purpose of my life? Are you asking this question? Do you not think that this question is invalid? Because you are not, and you are never going to be alone in any case, even in your wildest imagination also. Even in your dream also, you cannot be alone. Yeah.
My question is, like, everything we do for our circumstances only, for our social and for everything only. If there is no happening, like,
Okay, so in a way, let me answer your invalid question in a way that I can answer, I can think of. Is that if there is nothing on this planet, nobody is there, then you have no purpose, nothing to do. You just chill. That is the thing I can answer now. There is no other answer that I can think of at this moment.
That question is when you say there is no body, then you are asking what shall I do? You are doing something means you are involved in something. Your nobody sense means you are only excluding humans. Is it so? Or nobody means
আমাদের কাছে যেটা চাইছে আমরা সেটা করি অ্যাকচুয়ালি, আমরা কিন্তু নিজেরটা করি না, মানে আমাদের চাকরি করতে হবে তাই আমরা করি, মানে আমাদের সোশ্যাল আমাদেরকে বলে তোমাদের করতে হবে তাই আমরা করি। তো আমরা অ্যাকচুয়ালি কাজ করা কি উচিত, মানে যেটা আমাদেরকে বলা হয় আমাদেরকে বলা মানে করতে বলা হয় আমরা
So long as you are living in a society, so long as you are living among people, you will be definitely influenced by them. You will be definitely guided by them. So you are not a separate, isolated individual. So definitely, this question itself doesn't arise that why should I listen? Why I am getting influenced by so much society, people, population around me. That then what is the meaning of my pursuing something or seeking something? But it is definitely true that when we are living among so many millions and billions of people, naturally all this is affecting our individual seeking also, our individual kind of a persuasion also. So, but that's a little, and it will affect. Why not? It should, because you are also affecting somebody else. When you are doing something, naturally you are also affecting others. They are also affecting you. This is what is this world. You have to find out the way out through this collective seeking only. You have to you have to keep 50-50 this thing, a win-win situation, that I will also win and let the society also win. Let the society also in a way control me, guide me, influence me, and let it win. And I let me also keep a kind of isolation, kind of separation, kind of this thing from society, and I also make it. So that is the beauty of our intelligence. That intelligence will give you the method through which you will have a win-win situation. That society will also win, and I also win. I also achieved my purpose. I also did not get drifted away, carried away by the society. And society also did not think, "Arey, we are giving him everything. We are taking care of him. We are guiding him, influencing him. And he is not at all acknowledging us." So that also they will not do. So this is the middle path. This is the win-win situation. This is what we are discussing. You will learn how to maneuver through this situation. Okay. See, that is what this is a training that we have to give to our mind. All of us find it difficult to control our emotions because we are caught up in some situation, and there is no other hope. So there are different therapies. You say, let us call them therapies that we can apply to our mind. What are those therapies? That the moment we know that certain, because you have a history, you know your own history, that in which situation your emotions have got out of control. So then, learning from that history, you avoid getting into that situation. So when you know that in a particular traffic jam, I become completely out of control. If there is a traffic, too much traffic, I become irritated, agitated, and I start throwing tantrums at people. I start abusing people around me. Then you better avoid such a situation. Whenever you have been called to some place, you start at such a time that you will not get stuck in a traffic jam. So this way you can control your emotion. No, is it not? You completely avoided the situation and you controlled. So that is the very proven. That is a very kind of a very solid way to come conquer your emotions. That not getting into that situation at all. If you understand that such and such person, whenever he comes, he or she comes around me, I am feeling agitated. I feel disturbed. My emotions are getting disturbed. Better not to go in that company. Activity. Yes, like this. This is also activity. No? There are so many different activities that you can do. Say, suppose that you can avoid attending to that particular thing that is instigating your mind. So you divert your mind into reading some good book. Just like nowadays, what people do. See, why this is the activity they do, escapism. That see, so many people are sitting in a gathering, but everybody is involved in their mobile phone. Why? It is also one way of their avoiding agitating their mind. Because they know that if I start talking with this person, my mind will become excited, agitated, disturbed. So better I will see those kind of things in the mobile phone that I like, and my mind keeps happy. Better to do that. That is what escapism has started. That is what the people are now getting away from each other. because the technology is providing that ability to you. Do you not see people on the bus stop, people in the railway and the trains and buses? They are not looking at each other, and why? Because they want to avoid agitating themselves. They want to keep themselves this thing. That's why they are happy with their own mobile phone. But it is causing another problem. That is a different thing. Huh. So it is the escaping the problem, not facing the problem. So there are different things. Sometimes you have to escape. It is not that always escaping is wrong. Huh. Fight or flight. These are the two tactics. Either you fight with that emotion and conquer it, or flight. So these are the things. So when Swamiji was going in Varanasi, and he was a Parivrajaka sannyasi, then he was attacked by the group of monkeys. And Swamiji got terrified and he started running away. Then one monk was sitting there on the path and he shouted, one old monk, an experienced monk. So he shouted, "Arey, why are you running? Face them. Face the brute," like that. Then Swamiji suddenly got, see, this is the suggestions that you have to take from everybody. Anybody from your surroundings may give you some good suggestion. So Swamiji immediately took that suggestion and he had a stick. And with that stick, Swamiji faced those monkeys and they ran away. So this emotion of fear had overcome Swamiji first. He was overpowered by emotion of fear and he started running away. But the moment that suggestion he took, then his intellect became more under control, poised. Then what is happened? He took control of that emotion of fear. How? He had a stick, he had this thing, and he made an aggressive this thing gesture to those monkeys. Immediately, those monkeys ran away. So the things that are attacking you, that are intimidating you, if you remain firm, if you keep your ground firm, then what happens? Those things will run away. So these are different activities that you are asking. So this study, this book will give you all those suggestions. That is why again and again I tell you to come back to this class, to regularly attend as much as possible. Though you may feel many things repetitive, you may sometimes feel some things boring, but in the long run you will understand, no, though I thought boring, but it was very much useful. It was the most important knowledge of my life. If you suppose try to miss some point, then you can go back to this our YouTube channel and you can again play it back again and again concentrate on the particular concept and try to understand. So this will make you more and more deeper understanding of this. Okay. Anything else that you want? So shall we conclude? We will conclude with one just Om chanting. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om.